Welcome to the U World Order Showcase Program, the platform dedicated to highlighting visionary entrepreneurs and coaches who are shaping the U World economy. Each week, we're celebrating the power of the individual and coming together to uplift and empower one another to reach new heights of growth and prosperity as we showcase a coach, company, or entrepreneur stepping out to be the change they want to see in the world. With our collective efforts, we're creating a world where every person has the tools to realize their full potential and thrive like never before. Join us today as we chat with this week's guest to learn how they got started, what they're doing, and how they're making a difference in shaping the U World Order.
Hi, and welcome to the U World Order Showcase Program. Today we're speaking with Sharlene, and Sharlene is the Vice President of Healing Through Love, a not-for-profit organization that provides pamper days for women impacted by family and domestic violence. After losing her only child to suicide and almost being swallowed up by alcoholism and hoarding, Sharlene found a powerful transformation in the face of adversity. She is the living embodiment of her SHIFT program. As an international speaker, multi-passionate entrepreneur, and veteran workshop facilitator with 30 years of experience in business coaching and a background in accounting and holistic psychology, Sharlene is a thought leader in Mindshift, the future of mindset, a program that delivers tools and techniques to create lives that thrive. And in her spare time, she's a belly dancer. So we'll have to be sure and ask her about that too. With that, help me welcome Sharlene to the show. Hey, Sharlene, welcome to the show. It is so nice to meet you. We've been chatting beforehand, and gosh, you've got like so much going on. It's really exciting. You're like the person that the people that I help would go to, like the next step. So why don't you share with everybody what you're doing and how you're doing it and all the stuff.
Hello, Jo. It's so great to be here. I'm passionate about your purpose. And I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur. So I wear several hats. And I like that because ADHD, it's the natural progression for me to wear many hats. It stops me being bored, although I'm actually never bored because there's always so much happening. So one of my hats is I'm a professional speaker. So I love that. It gives me an opportunity to stand on stage and also speak to camera and share the Mindshift story for momentum. And most of the people that I speak to in that space, it's from a sales perspective. So I'm helping sales teams like multi-level marketing companies help motivate their people. It's been said that working in an MLM company is like herding cats. And it's true because you've got lots of individuals that are making up their own rules and you're needing to get them that internal motivation so that they can be everything that they want to be in their own businesses. So I love it. It's where I've come from, and I'm very passionate about helping them shift their perspective and see what's possible with possible thinking. And I love it. And I love the live interaction, and I love being on stage, and I also love speaking on camera. But I like it when, they can speak back to you. So I much prefer it when you've got everybody on the screen and you can have those beautiful conversations. So that's what I do as a speaker. I love it. And as a business coach, I work with wellness practitioners. So a whole variety of wellness practitioners, people that usually offer very bespoke, eclectic almost methodologies. So it might be they've got a little bit of NLP, they might have a little bit of kinesiology, they might have hypnosis, that like any range of healing modality. It could be nutrition, but it's bespoke so that they're seeing their clients one-on-one. And what they want to do is they're at a stage where they're fully booked and they now want to work less and they want to earn more. So they're looking at how can I scale this business, take it to the next level? And the way to do that is with infographics and to streamline the business. So that's the process I take them through. It's called the Align process, where we do a clarity session and then we unpack all this brilliance that's in their brain. I have to say, my clients are beyond brilliant. I'm in awe of everything that they carry inside of their heads. My job is to extract all of that, ask the coachy questions, collate the information information, and then my graphics team create the imagery that explains the processes, the journey that they take their clients on, what their clients need to go through the journey, and the KPIs. What are they going to get at the end of it? And that then creates their pitch deck. It also creates their sales brochure and the body of the work that they need for their workshops, and also really the structure for their book, their online programs, and also their workshops. So it's really a one-stop shop for all of the information to upscale to get to the next level. Many of my clients then can go on to franchise their business or license their business so that they can now expand and take it to another level. So I love it. It's just beautiful to watch. It's like watching a butterfly. It is great to see them step into that next level of their life. And aside from those two things as income earners, I also run a not-for-profit, a charity, a social enterprise. And this is where we create pamper days for survivors of family and domestic violence. So this looks like 25, or the bigger ones. So we do boutique ones and we do larger ones, but the larger ones are 25 to 30 practitioners. And these practitioners can be hairdressers, makeup artists. They can be doing neck and shoulder massage. They can be doing facials. They can be chakra lining, any range of healing modality or beauty modality. And some of them are multi-level marketers, and they provide their services for the day for free for survivors. It is beautiful to behold. We've got so many lovely stories of transition where girls have come 1 year as a survivor and they've come back with some mentoring the following year as an exhibitor. It's just beautiful to see the growth in these women. It also gives people the opportunities to see what else is out there, because we have the police come. We also have Al-Anon and lots of other support groups in and around this, Catherine House, Zara Foundation, and then they supply information as well. We have speakers, we've had dancers, all sorts. It's a beautiful day. You usually get the MPs coming as well, so, because they like to get a bit of politics in there as well, and that gives us some free advertising and marketing in the bigger papers. So it's beautiful, and we're just excited that we've now gone global. So now we're reaching out to communities all around the world, and if they feel aligned with this, then we offer an introduction to show you how to run this in your local area. And I have to say, from a business perspective, for myself and my business partner, that it has expanded our businesses to another level, because I think it's like a karma thing. It's energy. We're putting so much energy into something that's making a difference for so many other people. And, Zig Ziglar says, when you help enough other people get what they want, you get what you want. So it's elevated both of our businesses, and it's really made an impact for the people that we work with. And that's where our podcast comes in, where we interview people who have paid it forward and made a difference, and we give them that opportunity to have some cause marketing. So when I'm not doing all of that, I'm belly dancing. So
I wanted to ask you about that.
There's a lot happening. So I'm 56. I'm a mature age belly dancer, and I belong to the Stars of the Nile. When nobody's listening, Jill, we call ourselves the Stars of Denial because we're all over 50, and the eldest lassie is in her 70s. And we're still dancing, but what we decided to do is dance in aged care facilities. That way we're still young. And so we put together a routine, takes about 30, 40 minutes. And sometimes we've got 3 or 4 changes of clothes. So it's very quick, and it's just great to stay fit and still perform and have fun. And I love it. I love it. I love it.
I love that you're giving back in so many different ways. I mean, to be able to do the belly dancing, but you're doing it for a community that really needs to have some life pumped back in. And you're doing this other thing for helping, embattled women, pretty much, women who have suffered through trauma. And they just need the special pampering, even for one day. It makes such a huge difference in their mindset and their ability to just shift. If you just start them on that path to feeling better, or knowing that they can feel better. Because I think sometimes women just get in this position where it's like there's no hope. You don't know what you don't know, so you don't know that there's solutions to the things that you're suffering through. So how did you get started with all of this?
Oh, well, which part? So we can work backwards. With the belly dancing, I had a sales team and we wanted some interaction. This is more than 25 years ago, probably close to 30. And we wanted a team building exercise. So we went along to a WEA course, which is like a, low priced course. And they use that as their front end of funnel for their bigger courses. And we loved it. So we all stayed, and many of us stayed on and then went through classes. And then I became a teacher. And then decades later, we're all still running in performing. So we love that. So that's the dancing. The business coaching and unpacking the intellectual property, that is an interesting story. So it was 2017 when I became a professional speaker. And I noticed that as much as I could explain what it is I was taking people through the process, that there was still something missing. So I went and did a course on creating the graphics. And instantly it took me from just being a regular speaker to being, wow, she knows what she's talking about. This is interesting. And so it actually took me higher up the food chain with speaking. So then I started to help my clients get themselves sorted, and eventually then got a license. And now that's what I do on the side as a business coach to help people unpack their intellectual property. And so I've been a business coach for more than 30 years, but basically in and around the sales process. So this has just moved out of that. And now really it's the marketing process. So unpacking that intellectual property and now doing that. It's great. I've got a team of graphics because, that's not my bag. And also a beautiful team that do the copyright. I'm totally dyslexic. So, hey, I need a copy team. And they put all of that together, but I use my skill set in and around 30 years of business coaching to help people do that extraction to get that gold out. So I love that. And the speaking, well, that's a sad story. So this is a little bit of a trigger alert for anyone who's listening, but in September 2011, my beautiful 17-year-old baby boy took his own life. And that changed absolutely everything for me. At that point in time, my life was not in a good space. I was alcoholic, had been for more than 30 years, OCD to the point of self-harm, ADHD to the point of total distraction, and totally overweight and very unwell. I had lots of mental health issues, depression, anxiety. I was a screaming mess. And on top of all of that, I was like a world-class hoarder. We're talking 33 cubic meters of stuff. So I was not in a good space. But, that night that my son took his own life, I prayed that the ambulance people would be able to bring him back to life. They were unsuccessful, but I did get an answer to my prayer. And my answer to the prayer was a loud bellowing voice, which I thought everybody could hear, but apparently it was only me that heard it. And it said, forgive. And it clearly was the answer to my prayers. So God's message was forgive. So when the ambulance officers asked me if I wanted to go in and say my goodbyes to my son, I did. I went in and I laid down on the ground and I rested my head on his chest because he's 6'2", so a big boy, rested my head on his chest and I said, Mummy loves you, baby, and I forgive you for your choice. Now, what I didn't know until much later is that going through that process of forgiving him was allowing me to heal at the speed of love, that doesn't happen every day. So later on that night, while the police were investigating, because that's what happens at a suicide, the police were investigating, I'm sitting on the couch with my feet stuck in underneath me and I'm staring at my giant cup of coffee that's now going cold. And I said, I'm not just going to survive this. I'm going to thrive through this. Now, the police thought that was so unusual. They wrote it down in their report and later on questioned me about it. But I was in a different space. I was now healing at that speed of love, and I was in a space where I could make a decision. I didn't know what thriving looked like because, hey, I was living in a mess of a life, but I knew that didn't look like what I was currently experiencing. So being a woman of faith, I knew enough to give grace and to give thanks and to do gratitude. So the next day when we got out of bed, nobody slept. We just sort of lied there and stared at the ceiling. But when I got out of bed, I grabbed a spiral-bound notebook and I just started writing out all of the things that I was grateful for. And I just kept writing and writing and writing and writing and writing. And now in hindsight, I can tell you that gratitude raises your frequency. And I still do gratitude every day, several times a day. I end the day with gratitude, start the day with gratitude, and I'll do gratitude throughout the day when I need to lift my frequency. So coming from that place of gratitude allowed me then to make the next decision, and that is to write out the list of what I wanted my life to look like. And on one of those pages up the top, it's got world-class, my voice is shaking, world-class transformational public speaker. Like, how dare I write that down? Well, have a look around, baby. You're a screaming mess. Physically, you're a mess. Mentally, you're a mess. You're living in a mess. And how dare you? But, it taught me a huge lesson, and that's part of the shift process that I talk about from stage, and that is to see the big vision of what your life could be. Because many other therapies ask you to look at where you are right now. And so when you're already low frequency and that's what you're looking at, it just takes your frequency down. But when you can cast your mind to a future that is different, bigger, more, better, amazing than where you are, then now you've got a place to pin yourself to. And then, the next letter of the shift process is to hone in on reality. So H, you know where you are. And now you can draw that line between where you are and where you want to go. So my speaking career really stemmed from the process that I went through, not only surviving, but thriving through my son's decision, and how I've taken myself to become a world-class transformational speaker, and that beautiful journey, which I love being able to share, because people get real-time, in-time, real transformation just through that conversation. And I give them tips and techniques that they can take on straight away so that they can have live the life of their dreams, basically. That's what I'm all about, living the life of your dreams. If you think it, you can create it. It's that simple.
It is really that simple. It's just like, it's where it begins. It's in your head. And if you can see it, if you can feel what you think it will feel like, you will find yourself in that space. It is almost like magic, how effective that is.
It is. Well, it's quantum physics, really. And it's about energy. So we are energy in motion, and we're emotional beings. And so it's about checking in with your frequency, seeing where you are. What are you thinking about? We're always manifesting every single day. We've got more than 90,000 thoughts a day. Well, no, sorry, more than 70,000 thoughts a day, and 90% of them are the same thoughts day in and day out. So, and I'm over 35. Jill, are you over 35?
Yes, I'm 63.
63. So then 95% of our thoughts are actually subconscious. So, and that's why journaling is so important. That's why bringing that subconscious thought process to conscious mind, so that you have a level of awareness, so you can have a think about what it is that you're actually manifesting. Because, everybody listening here has manifested a great car park. Everybody here has manifested, you've thought about somebody and they've called you. Like, everybody here has had these experiences. So it's not unusual. It's about understanding how that thought process works and really dialing into it so that you can manifest the life of your dreams. It's not a woo-woo, it's science. And,
it's
and
science.
It's science. And that's why I really lean into people and working with my clients, understanding about frequency, thought process, manifesting, abundance, old stories that hold you in cycles where you are. I love it. And when we have these better understandings of that aspect of life, we can shift, we can move forward and live the life of our dreams.
And not only just living the life of our dreams, but as we live and step into the life of our dreams, we empower other people to do that too. Because the more we move forward and the more we give, just as the process of creating, the more it ripples out and affects other people. Like, we have this conversation today. Other people will hear it, and it'll have a ripple effect on their communities. And those communities will have a ripple effect on the other communities. And so it's like throwing a stone in the water. The waves just keep going out, and then they intermix with other waves. And it just makes a whole beautiful new picture of a reality that we can all live in together, which is part of the reason I do this show. It's because I love talking to people who are being the change they want to see in the world. and contributing to making the world a better place. And you, Sharlene, definitely are doing that.
I love it. I love it. So I know that my mission here on this planet at this time is to raise the frequency of the planet. And what I do know is that it's not something that I can do by myself. So I'm a holistic psychologist, and I realized very early in the piece, after the first couple of clients, this is going to be a tough gig if I'm going to speak to everyone on the planet. But what I did realize is I can help enough other wellness practitioners raise their frequency and then raise the frequency of their clients. And then collectively, we can raise the frequency of the planet. And that's where the magic is going to appear. When we can raise the frequency, I envision a world where there is no war. I envision a world where it is based on love and peace and happiness and bliss. I have an image in my head of what it looks like to live on that world. And I know that when enough of us hold that frequency, the human race will evolve to the next level. It will be all about love.
It's going to show up. It's just like there are people that are part of this movement. And it's really exciting. I know there's a lot of doom and gloom out there, but to me, there has never been so much opportunity to help each other and to just like move the energy around and raise the vibration and help shape what's going to happen and how future generations will live.
It is so true. And we're breaking so many family patterns, which is another letter in the shift process. So that's F is to focus on the patterns. And when we break a pattern, it's been said that it breaks it not just back in time, but forward in time as well. So it does both, and depends on where your thought processes are. It's up to 700 years. So we can break a family pattern just by, breaking it ourselves, so our children don't need to go through the same process. So it just blows me away. One of the family patterns, one of hundreds that I uncovered in my process of journaling, was that I had a break with reality when I was 38 and had suicide ideation. And when in conversation with my mother, that was the age that she had a nervous breakdown and she left our family home. And then we put two and two together in the conversation and then said, oh, well, 38 was the same age that her mother, my grandmother, committed suicide. So like they're there, but we don't have the conversations about it. We don't journal it and put the dates down because time just gets a bit mushy after a little while. But, this is just one example of hundreds, that there are patterns in everyone's family, and that when you bring that level of awareness to them, if you stop, they're not secrets. Yes, they are things that need to be discussed, because if you haven't dealt with it in your lifetime, your children get to. And if you don't have children, it will be someone else in your family, so your brothers and sisters' children, that will have that experience. So if we can stop keeping the family secrets and we can have the conversations so that we can break those family patterns and we can move on. And many of you listeners today probably believe in past lives. So they might not even be a this life pattern. They could be a past life pattern. You're not going to know that unless you can journal and bring that to light and see that level of awareness and then make a decision about living a different choice, a different life. And that might be where you need to go and get yourself a past life therapist to have a look at that. So yes, 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 and yes.
So exciting. This has been really fascinating for me. So tell people, well, let's ask you this question first. What is the one thing that you would hope that the people listening to this podcast would take away from our message today?
Oh, you've got this. You have got this. You are uniquely designed with the skill set that you need to live the life of your dreams. You just need to get out of your own way. You need to get some focus and figure out exactly what it is that you want to do. So, S, see the big picture of what's possible for your life. Whatever it takes for you to do that, grab a bottle of wine. I won't. I'm now a recovered alcoholic, but grab a bottle of wine, sit down and craft what your life could look like. Hone in on reality about where you are right now. Implement some quick wins. Focus on the patterns and take massive imperfect action so that you can step into that next iteration of your life, because you have got this. You are designed that way.
So inspiring. So how can people get a hold of you?
Oh, beautiful. So I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and a website. Everything's under my name, Sharlene. So spelt the Irish way because I'm an Irish girl. So with an S, Sharlene, and my last name is Lynch and Lynch. So you can find me pretty much everywhere. I also do have lots of free resources. There's lots of stuff on my YouTube channel that you can dive around in. And, reach out. I'm that girl that wants to have the conversation. So even if it's just something that's happened for you today, a light's gone on, you've felt something that you really want to have a bigger conversation about, reach out. There's always links. And we've also got some free resources to share today that we'll put in the show notes.
Perfect. This has been awesome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for tuning in to the You World Order Showcase program. We hope today's episode has inspired you to consider how you can leverage your unique skills and talents to be the change you want to see in the world. If you're ready to take the next step and turn your passion into a 5-figure part-time business, we invite you to schedule a private consult at heartlifecoach.com. During our Passion to Profit Breakthrough session, we'll work together to identify your strengths, clarify your vision, and develop a tailored plan for achieving your goals. Don't settle for mediocrity or let fear hold you back from pursuing your dreams. With the right guidance and support, you can build a thriving business that brings you joy, financial freedom, and the opportunity to make a positive impact in the world. Head over to heartlifecoach.com today to schedule your Passion to Profit Breakthrough session and take the first step towards creating the life you've always wanted. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on the You World Order Showcase program.